queens, clash your swords. Yeah. You kings and queens already know.
100 kings and 100 queens?
Gonna. Show them already, dang it. Alright. Not gonna waste any time, we're gonna jump right into this. We got a problem, Houston. No, it's Houston, we have a problem. Well, I say it the way I want to say it. How about that? Well, I'm saying it the way I want to say it because a lot of you are doing things the way you want to do it, even if someone show you the way you're supposed to do it. So, I'm going to start this thing off with the definitions, or the main definition of the safe harbor, right? So before I get into that, y'all need to know that the United States is a what? A business, a corporation. All its instrumentalities are what? Corporations. Okay? God has no respect to what? Person. So you are not a what? Person. If you're not a person, then you what? You are a beneficiary, which meaning you are the what? Living being. And we're going to get to that in these definitions and teachings that I'll be doing right now, today, tonight, this morning, whenever you get this. Okay? But first, you need to know this. Okay? What is the Holy See? Let's go look it up. Some of you be like, and some of you just want to lean to your own understanding. We're going to put them in Holy See, which is still S-E-A. This is the way they put it for Latin. The Holy See is the general governing body of the what? Roman Catholic Church. What is a freaking Holy See? C. They put S-E-E, but it's still water. And you know it's based on the water because that's what the United States run commerce off of. Dock of the bay. Docking. Documents. You got a court docket number. Dock. And that takes you back to the what? Safe Harbor Trust, which is the Safe Harbor Act. Okay? And you'll find out about that when you start reading a lot of the IRS documents. Okay? Since somebody in our group, or who's probably supposed to be on the damn call in the first place, talking about it's the dumbest, idiotic thing it is, it don't make no sense. Your motherfucking mama don't make no sense, because she didn't tell you about this shit. Okay? And I'm here to show y'all the truth. But some of you don't want the truth. And this is exactly why y'all gonna wind up in prison. Don't come to me asking me to help you, because I'm not. Okay? Like I said, you're not gonna be able to join the prison ministry. You're not. Okay? So, it goes back to the safe harbor. Okay? And we're gonna get into that. So you're on the sea. The deed poll links up with this. I'm giving you everything that links back to it. Okay? The boat, your vessel. Pastor Divine spoke about the 25-year vessel. They even talk about that. You type that in on Google somewhere. You also type in the Warehouse Receipt Act. When you're born at the hospital, you're born out of water. It's an imitation of the seas. The seas is an imitation of you being born from your mother out of the water, pushing the water out. Okay? And so the hospital make themselves to be like the safe harbor where your mother is safe with the baby. And so they charge you at the hospital. Okay? That's a fee. That's a charge. You're worth your weight in gold. Your mother or dad never paid it, so they're in debt. That's how it all starts. Now let the shipping begin. Okay? So when you look at the deed poll and read the instructions of the deed poll, okay, the ones that I have, I don't care where else you try to get your stuff from, you can get the one I have. That's the one we've been operating with for 5 years. Okay? The Holy See is the central governing body of the Roman Catholic Church. And we know the Catholic Church changed everything to be an imitation of the real. And the Vatican, city, state. And it's also known as the See. of Rome. Petrine See or Apostolic See. Government. The Holy See is a sovereign entity under international law and is the supreme body of the Catholic Church. Where do all churches come from? They're an imitation of the Catholic Church. There was no church. It was called a ecclesiastica, which means gathering of the beings. Okay? There was no church. They just saw what we were doing and changed into the word church. And then from their church, then it started distributing it out to all the other countries and stuff, create the church. You go look at your history, true history, herstory, you'll see that's how it happened. There was only one church. That was us, the beings, the living beings, copper-tone beings on the land. That's why you hear say that even in the scripture it says the Holy Ghost don't dwell in buildings. Okay? The Holy Spirit is in you, the whole Spirit, the Spirit of you, the God in you. And by you getting with everybody else, then you become one. One what? One ecclesiastica, ecclesiastes, church, whatever you want to call it. But the church came last. The word church didn't come about to after Rome dominated Greece. But let me get back on, because all of this is dealing with what y'all need to learn. Stop skimming through this goddamn video and these videos and sit your ass down and watch the whole entire movie for an hour and a half. You sit in the dang movies and you watch some garbage that ain't educating you on nothing, and yet I'm giving you all this and you got like you can't sit for a second and get the truth. All of you who are not following and want to rush, you're lost. You're jumping over there, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, instead of focusing on one thing, and that's your bloodline. Damn the individuality. Think about the entire bloodline, and everything will come together. Okay? Okay, so the Holy See is a sovereign entity under international law. Entity. God has no respect for person. See? And is the supreme body of the Catholic Church. The Pope is the ruler, which Pope means father. Ruler of both the Holy See, that's the waters, and you might say, it don't say S-E-A, that's how idiotic you are. Because in Latin, they spelt things differently. And then over here, it's spelt differently. You getting the dog Latin. Holy See and the Vatican City. If you don't believe me, go look at the goddamn deed poll and see who runs that. How do you correct your status? With a deed poll. And you got to do it the right way, the way I show you how to do it. Because I ain't already done it. Some of you just don't want to listen. You want to try to create your own way. Your way is the highway. You ain't in no house. All right, I'm not going to get in too deep with that. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back to the safe harbor. And we're going to get right into what we got to get into. We're talking about the bonds today. These companies out here are lying to y'all, telling y'all these are y'all bonds. It is not y'all bonds. Telling you can go get money. And people are like, oh, I know somebody that got money off of it. Yeah, the IRS, the Securities and Exchange, haven't caught up with their asses yet. But I guarantee you, turn them into me, I turn their ass in for you. Because here's the thing. If you know about it and you say nothing about it, you're liable. And they will arrest you too. Harboring a damn fugitive. That right there tell you right there the word harbor. Harboring a fugitive. That means they're safe. And then someone say, oh, that's dumb. You're dumb. Because you don't know what harbor is. A safe harbor trust allows you, and notice they got the C right here. Look at that. C. Allows you or your spouse to set aside some of those assets so they are shielded against Medicaid's spend down requirement. Now, this is just a similarity to what I'm about to show you. Those assets could then be used to improve for qualifying of life once you are see, they're going right into life. Because once you're saved, now you have life. And you're going to see that. quality of life once you or your surviving spouse are able to qualify for government aid. Government, harbor, safe harbor trust. Safe harbor act, safe harbor trust is all the same. Harbor on the bay, whatever, still the same thing. Now let's go down here and break this thing down. Here we go, as we gotta go up. A safe harbor trust, that's Medicare. Let's go down here. Let's go, we already read the Medicare one. A safe harbor is a legal provision. Legal, not lawful. Legal. So that means you're on the water. That's fake. Legal provision that allows a person to avoid or eliminate legal or regulatory. Now, if we on the sea, there are what? Regulations. Docking regulations, travel regulations, shipping regulations, import-export regulations, liability. So in commerce, the water is an imitation of you being born or birthed from your mother, okay? So they imitated that and they created a new total sea, okay? Which they're claiming they run. That's why they buy up all the docks. That's what it's about. China go buying up all the docks on all these different lands so that way you can have cruise ships coming in and out. Shipping coming in and out, okay? And when you're on the water, you're finna see. In certain situations, the term is used in many industries, including what? There you go, right there. Finance. So you bastards, you're talking about it's your bond and this and that. Finance. There you go, right there. Safe harbor in finance. It ain't just in Medicare. It ain't just on the sea. Real estate and what? Law, because that's maritime law. Safe harbor agreement, a voluntary agreement between parties, private landowners, and the government to help recover what? Endangered threatened species. Safe harbor. And it is going down to different ways it's used. 401k, that's in finance. IRS safe harbor, and that's under the 8288 instructions. Go read it. Look for safe harbor. Because everything is on water. They're dealing with shipping, import, export, tariffs, mainly. You're safe. Free trade. IRS, safe harbor for underpaying estimated tax. So, that goes back to what I was just saying. 8288 A, B, and the 8288 itself. Now, how the hell the IRS got anything to do with a safe harbor if it's so dumb? We know these guys operate on the water, with the water. They have ships. You citizenship. Talking your citizenship shit. Citizen. IRS safe harbor for underpaying estimated tax. You just saw what a safe harbor is. Let's go. What you see right there? That water? Why is they relating Medicare to water? See, they're giving you a hint. They're not allowed to just straight up tell you. Oh, you put it all together. Precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. You'll get it. And when you see this IRS safe harbor, that goes into 26 U.S.C. 1445, 26 U.S.C. 1446. That's the foreigners bringing in the goods. That's the tariff, because it's our job to tax them because they're bringing the stuff in. Now, to keep them safe from any illegality, then they're under the safe harbor. That's why they build trust. The foreigners build the trust. And what key is tied to this to show and prove to you the proof? What is it? A trust indenture. Every company you deal with have a trust indenture. That's a bank that goes to the what? The treasury. To get your foreign money. And they steal it and go back. And you ain't got nothing beneficiary. Since you want to be the beneficiary, you ain't benefiting shit. Y'all need to stop being assholes. I'm telling you, I have had it up to here with all of you. You don't want to watch the videos. Every part of this video is important from every word that come out of my mouth. You think I'm doing this for free? No, I'm doing this so I can secure my spot in heaven and secure my bloodline is under the safe harbor. Anyway, so that's all I'm going to read on that. So we finna get into stuff I was helping someone with earlier, dealing with these bonds and stuff. Because everybody keeps saying it's their bonds. These guys out here, these women out here selling y'all this fake bond information, saying your birth certificate, here's your bond number. I'm going to show y'all what they're showing y'all. Okay? For free. For free. You don't have to pay no $200 for this crap. They come back, you buy these damn so-called birth certificate bond info, talking about it's a CUSIP number when your social is not a CUSIP, it's a goddamn account number. I spoke with the Treasury. It's an account number. It's not a CUSIP. Matter of fact, let me prove y'all assholes wrong right now. I'm gonna prove these assholes wrong right now. Let's go type in what a, we're gonna go to, matter of fact, we're gonna go right to Wikipedia. CUSIP number. And y'all sit and believe these assholes, which pisses me off because I'm tired of them taking y'all money. I don't want your damn money. I just want you to be free and free of this fuckery. All right, a CUSIP. This is a 9-digit character numeric or alphanumeric code. Now, this is where they come in and say your social is the CUSIP. No, that's the account number. Okay? My status is already corrected, and that number is an account number. It turned over to an account number, and I became the interest holder of that account number. I ain't become an interest holder of a CUSIP. That's idiotic. CUSIP is for everybody who invests in it. That uniquely identifies a North American financial security. Now, anytime you're dealing with a North American security, it has both numbers and letters, not just numbers. For the purposes, and I've been dealing with the stock market since 2005. King Harry will vouch what I'm telling y'all. And if you're looking, buddy, put it in the damn description. I mean the comment section, where these assholes can understand. Them motherfuckers out here who charging these people for these goddamn fake-ass CUSIP numbers are getting away with murder. And every last one of y'all who bought a fake CUSIP number, come to me, and I'm gonna help y'all get y'all money back from them assholes for free. For free. I ain't charge you nothing, and I'm gonna show you how to get it. They charge you $200, $500 for a fake-ass CUSIP. Ain't even yours. I'm gonna show you how to get it. And it ain't even yours. It's crazy. Telling y'all it's yours and it ain't yours. That's why you go say this is yours, and then you go to the trader and they give you the money. You don't even know all the while it's not yours, and then they come back years later and they get you. They got 5 years to get you. Security for the purpose of facilitating clearing and settlement trades. Settlement trades. Remember, there was a couple companies just got in trouble, brokerage firms got in trouble for not settling the trades. Settle. They have to settle. Remember, there's a beneficiary involved in all this now. So it has to be settled before the beneficiary gets his benefits. Even from the stock market. Even when it comes to your bills. People talking about discharge. You know, there's discharging and settling. Here you got clearing and settlement. So settlement is always part of something. Of trades. What are you trading? You're trading your goddamn instrument. It's the same damn thing. Settle. All CUSIP identifiers are fungible. Let's see that briefly. Which means that a unique CUSIP identifier for each individual security stays the same, regardless of the exchange. Now, I want y'all to stop. All y'all who didn't purchase this stupid ass shit. Did you just hear what it said? A CUSIP identifier for each individual security stays the same. So you motherfucking telling me, you motherfuckers, that all these people got the same motherfucking CUSIP? which is your social? Hit yourself on the head right now. That means Joe Blow, who deals with the same bond, same market fund, municipal bond, municipal fund, got the same Social Security as yours? Already, you know it's a lie. I don't even got to finish this up. I can hang up the goddamn recorder and just walk away. Just walk away right now. That means all y'all would have the same Social Security number. It's impossible that you have a Social Security number and it's attached to the same name of the fund. Different socials. That right there lets you know they're lying. And settlement of trades. All CUSIP identifiers are fungible, which means that a unique CUSIP identifier for each individual security stays the same, regardless of the exchange. Where the shares were purchased. You never purchased anything. So how the fuck you got a CUSIP number? You purchased something from that person. That is not the purchase for this. And we're going to get into that because you need to contact the market fund manager. Which they don't even give you this. They said this is yours, but I'm going to give you everything they're supposed to give you if you had a CUSIP number. I got CUSIP numbers to a bunch of bonds, a bunch of funds, and I got all this information. It's called a what? A prospectus. These assholes lie to y'all. Which means that what? A unique CUSIP. I'm going to keep giving it to you. CUSIP identifier for each individual security stays the same. Regardless of exchange where the shares were purchased or venue on which the shares were traded. So whether it was a Treasury Direct, I told y'all you don't need Treasury Direct. Whether it was Charles Schwab, whether it was Fidelity. CUSIP was adopted as an American national. And y'all, we're talking about you're not a U.S. national or an American national. The word national is dealing with a nation corporation, standard by the accredited Standard Committee, times 9, and is designated ANSI time. You can look at all that in your own spare time. But I'll hover over that real quick for you. And nothing coming up on it. So yeah, you have to click that and look at it. CUSIP was reapproved as an ANSI standard in December 2020. The acronym derived from Committee of Uniform Security Identification Procedures. The CUSIP system is owned by the American Bankers Association. And y'all talking about y'all want y'all bankers number? And is operated by FactSet Research Systems, Inc. The operating body, CUSIP. And you want to do something good, get in contact with this company here. Tell them to look that number up. They'll give you all the information about it. Call the Securities and Exchange if you big and you bad. CUSIP Global Services and serves as the national numbering agency, NNA, for North America, and the CUSIP serves as the National Securities Identification Number, NSIN. The products issued from both the United States and Canada in its role as the NNA, CUSIP Global Services, who also assigns all U.S.-based ISINs. What is ISIN? International Securities Identification Number. Is a code that uniquely identifies a security globally for the purposes of facilitating, that's right, clearing, reporting, and settlement of trades. Why globally? Why globally? Because 31 USC 3123 tell you that the Treasury will be able to dispose of the bonds the way they need to get back their funds that they gave in advance for the loan. That's what a bond is. That's why we're talking about the bond. The bond is a debt. It's an IOU. Okay? And they sell it to different countries. Different companies, different countries, different brokers, investors. That you're saying is yours, right? You're saying it's your bond. No, the hell it's not. If it's yours, your fucking name will be on it. That's why let me tell you something. And I told this queen I said, listen, if that was your bond, he or she would not have access to your birth certificate number. At all. At all. And they're trying to look it up by the birth certificate, saying it's attached to it. It's not attached. It's not attached. It can possibly start from the death at the hospital, and the birth certificate is just a certification. That's why it's a birth certificate. A certification that you owe the state the debt, and that bond is created and sold to the United States Treasury. And the Treasury issues a what? A bond. Read 31 USC 3123. They issue it based on the debt that's owed by your mama and your daddy. You ain't settle it. That's where the silver and the gold and the copper and the precious metal that I sold y'all comes into play. But y'all just acting ignorant like y'all don't know what the fuck to do with it. I'm helping y'all settle. As it said up there, settle. But y'all don't want to pay attention and stay in school. You just want to jump. If you don't understand and understand and overstand this stuff, y'all are all wasting y'all time. Now, right here says the origins of the CUSIP go back to 1964. Now remember, 1933 was already here. Now it says in 1964. How many years that is? 31 years later? Let me think. Let me make sure. They were doing math right. With the financial markets, we're dealing with what was known as the Securities Settlement Paper Crunch. Bam. DTCC. Now, you talk about the Safe Harbor Act. It's all a lie. It's dumb. It's ignorant. Let me show you how dumb and ignorant you are. When you're born at the hospital, they send your umbilical cord along with the certificate, that's the Warehouse Receipts Act, to Water Street. What's on Water Street? DTCC. Okay? What is that? That's the dock of the bay. Okay? Go look up the Warehouse Receipts Act. That is a certificate, certified certificate is a certificate of ownership. They're showing that they own you from birth because your mom and dad failed to settle the debt, and 3 days later they issued a birth certificate. That's the way it's supposed to happen. Some people had theirs issued later, but still, the debt is still there. It's certified. Paper crunch. Warehouse Receipts Act. In fact, let's go over here. So I'm gonna link this stuff all together so y'all can have a great understanding of this stuff. Because before I get into anything, y'all need to have this stuff in detail. Warehouse Receipts. Warehouse Receipts Act. Warehouse Receipts Act, baby. Come on, Wikipedia, you got it here, baby. The paid Warehouse Receipts Act does not exist. Did you mean Warehouse Receipt Act? Yeah, that's what I meant. Take the S off. S for being quiet. Silence. Silence. And that ain't even there. So that means we're going to have to look up Warehouse. It's in here. I'll tell you what. Warehouse Receipt Act. This is what we're going to do. Because it's in here. They probably don't have it in here yet. Trying to see that it don't exist, but they do. Come on, AI. Asinine individual, that's what AI stands for. It'd be funny that AI talk back and say, King, you a damn liar, you a bitch nigga. Warehouse Receipt Act, UWRA, is a law that regulates public warehousing, you assholes. See that? That's where your umbilical cord piece goes. That's where that birth certificate goes. That's the record keeping. Dock of the bay, baby. You came off the water and then you docked onto the warehouse where they scale the damn fishes. You bitches. Regulates public warehousing and protects. That was your safe harbor. That was your safe harbor. Protects, you assholes. protects the interests of both the depositor, who's the depositor? Oh my gosh, the state, and the recipient of the warehouse receipt. Who is the recipient? Who's the recipient? You got it, but you never accepted it for value, for credit, and settled the debt. So it ain't yours yet. DTC get it, and they do what they need to do with it. Transferor, transferee, but they doing it on their own land, fake land. The UWRA was first enacted in 1917 and has been amended several times, most recently in 2011. So I suggest y'all go look up the change in 2011 because I'm not about to do it right now. We studied this in 2020. Okay? Warehouse receipts must include the following. So make sure all your bills have this on it. Warehouse location. The date the receipt was issued. The receipt's unique identification number. What else we got here? The receipt's unique identification code, whether the goods will be delivered to the bearer. We already talked about the bearer instrument. There you go. How in the hell the bearer instrument we just talked about links back up with the Warehouse Receipts Act, links back up with the Safe Harbor Act, links back up with 26 U.S.C. 1445, 1446. Come on now, the Bill of Exchange. I can keep going. 31 U.S.C. 3123, 31 U.S.C. 3727. Everybody get y'all shit together. Stop talking shit. Stop doubting this shit. Because I'm about to get the hell out of here on y'all. King T No Man said he understands exactly what I go through. You know what I go through with the editing. You know what I go through by teaching the class. How the ignorance keep talking. King, how can ignorance talk? Because ignorance is ignorance. Whether you be the damn ignorance or what comes out of your mouth is the damn ignorance. Whether the goods will be delivered to the bearer, a named person or its order, paid to the order of the United States Department of the Treasury. Oh my gosh. Because it's not your order. It's the obligation of the United States. 18 U.S.C. 8, 12 U.S.C. 411. The rate of the storage and handling charges. The rate of the storage. Handling charges. Yeah, you can charge that. Fiduciary fees. Shipping and handling. You have to ship it. USPS. The tax rate. Come on now. A description of the goods or the packages containing them. Now, I just hope I broke that all down. I'm going to finish up with this bond because y'all need to understand what this is. I'm giving y'all the main bread and butter, the head of this stuff, before y'all go into talking about it's your bond. And then I'm going to get into the proving that it's not your bond. These motherfuckers talking about it's a bond connected to your birth certificate. That is not the one. And I'll show you how it's possible that it might be, but that's not all yours. That's a piece of a debt. If y'all remember what tranching is, tranching, we're going to get into that right after this. Okay, and finance and bond is the type of security under which the issuer, debtor, owes the holder, creditor. Okay? A debt and is obliged, obligated. Obligations of the United States. So you have to go to the what? United States Treasury, give them a 236 after you leave the goddamn hospital, along with the goddamn bill, and then they have to go to the Treasury. And the debt is settled, and now your son or daughter and you is free. You're free. But if you let that bond get put on there with the United States Treasury, that's 30 years they own your ass. After age 5, you start school, but you got 25 years, and that's where the 25 years come into play. Because you're educated enough, and that's why the, my goodness, what's that religion? One of those religions teach their children at age 5. That's why. The Amish. And that's another thing when you're doing your 1041. Don't put a social if you're trying to do it for your sons or daughters. Just put Amish. Religious Amish. That's what you put to avoid putting a social security number. I'm going to say it again. You put religious / Amish. Amish. And then you put exempt. Religious / Amish, under that exempt. Now you know. Don't say I didn't tell you. And I'm going to test every last one of y'all ass on this goddamn video. And I'm going to keep this video up because I want y'all to share it to all these fake ass gurus out there telling y'all this is how it is. And they ain't going to do nobody come back and say, no, we got a Series 7 broker and this is what they saying. Them Series 7 brokers lying to y'all 7 ass. It was completed in 7 days. You put 2 and 2 together. Anyway, while you ponder on that, depending on the terms to provide cash flow to the creditor, see? Repay the principal 1099A, i.e. amount borrowed of the bond at the maturity date. That's when you go into your 1099B now. You put the interest, which is the fair market value, for the entire 30 years, okay? That's the fair market value. They already know the value. Most time it's 7.5%. That's the yield. And we're going to get into the yield in a minute. And you transfer all this over to the 1099B because they bartered. Okay, they did the work. Problem is the state can't be taxed. Like I said, well, we're going to tax their ass anyway. We're going to let them deal with that. Bond at maturity date as well as the interest. As interest, see? Interest. Called the coupon. Interest called the coupon. So when you go into what? The 1099 OID. Okay? Gene King spoke a lot about this already. Over a specific amount of time. The timing and the amount of cash flow provided varies depending on the economic value that emphasized upon, thus giving rise to different types of bonds. Right, because you got 30-year bonds, you got 5-year bonds, 1-year bonds, 6-month bonds, 10-year bonds, 20. The interest is usually payable at fixed intervals. That's your 1099 OID. If you look at the 1099 OID and the 8281, they ask when is the first piece of interest going to be paid out. And it's telling you your answer right here for y'all 1099. Well, how y'all want to get y'all money back in y'all birth certificate? You want to get it semi-annual? Annual? Remember I told y'all can do it every 6 months? Or try to do it every quarter? You can. And then it says, and less often at other periods. That's the quarterly. Thus, a bond, so that backs up everything I told y'all. I have to give this stuff to y'all like a baby because some of you just want to see how it's done and don't want to be educated on how to do it and why you're doing it. And this is where y'all mess up at. And when you're locked up, you don't even know how to get out because you don't know what the hell you did. You just listen to what somebody said and you point the finger at them, but you won't blame shit on me. Because I broke this shit down so hard, the IRS will walk away from it. They say, oh no, he told them everything. They know I'm not liable and won't be liable. The interest is usually payable at a fixed interval. At fixed intervals. Semi-annual, 1099 OID, y'all, 8281. Annual. And why I say you can do it once a year for the rest of your life, church offspring can do it so they can keep your money even after you're dead. Some billions will always last. That 201 billion is good. 203 billion. So now every last one of y'all was in that class, know that I'm telling you the damn truth now. Stop listening to these other damn people. Thus, a bond is a form of loan. RIOU. Oh my God. Thus, a bond is a form of loan or IOU. I'm gonna say it a fucking again for you assholes. Thus, a bond is a form of loan or IOU. What is an IOU? Legal tender. So while you assholes keep trying to go after fiat, that's an IOU. Anytime you have IOU and you got it from someplace, that's a bond on you. And you need to settle that bond. That's why you have the birth certificate. You trying to get the money? No, you need to settle it before you get the money. Because once it's settled, you owe nothing. Get it? That's why you need the silver or the gold certificate. Okay? And those who want a silver certificate, it is 1 billion in value. So if your birth certificate is 1 billion in value, yes, you can buy 2 of them. They're $50 each. Cash out. PayPal.me/STT Estate Trust. Okay? Make sure you put your name, your phone number, and make sure your address is correct on PayPal. And I'll get that out to you in the next day. Okay? And it should arrive within the week. Okay? So, the IOU is the tender. Okay? And when you give someone a dollar bill, we already went over the definition of legal tender. It's an obligation to pay or to perform. And we went over the performance stuff in our class. How this pay part. This is where performance bonds come from. This is why I give y'all performance rights into the albums that y'all buy, so your performance is the only performance they'll get. Because nothing never will certify how you will perform. The performance normally is you going to slave, working a 9 to 5. That's the performance. That's why they ask you, do you have a job? So they want to know, are you performing for them? So they know a portion of your job that you're going to get is going to go to them. That's why when you go get a house, they ask, where do you work? Because a portion of that job belongs to them now. They got shares in your job, in your labor. And if you don't labor, they come get your house, your car. They don't. Some car companies don't even want to deal with you if you don't keep a job. Some mortgage companies do that too. You don't have a job, well, we're going to have to get you out of there. You got X amount of days to get a job. I say I ain't never heard of no shit like that. But it's true, because you have to perform. Then the payment comes. They got payment bonds on you and performance bonds. IOU, you give a Walmart $100. That's an IOU. That's a certification of an IOU. That's the note saying that I owe you. Note on somebody's car. I ran over somebody's girlfriend and left her breast implants all on the pavement. I said, oh shit, I knocked her goddamn breast implants on the goddamn sidewalk. That shit melting like goddamn silicone, melted up silicone. I'm like, oh shit, water dripping out of it. I said, oh shit, she was knocked out cold, so I put a note on the back of her back and said, I owe you, Tom. I knocked out your woman's silicone breast. And oops, oh shit, the BBL came out. Her pants are wet. So I put a note on the back of her butt. Fake butt is like flat like a back, and I said, I owe you. Here's my phone number. He called me about 2 weeks later because he thought he could fix it. And of course, she had some insurance on that breast implant and that butt thing, and it didn't work out fine. He couldn't even squeeze it right no more because it didn't belong to her. It was a loan all on it because they gave the doctor an IOU themselves. So what I came in and did like a big boss man, I went in there and settled the debt on her BBL and breast implants. And now guess who owned the breast implants? I own his wife's butt and his wife's breast. Because he didn't settle the debt. King Stevian settled it. I'm giving you an example of how this stuff go, y'all. I know that was kind of deep, but god dang it. Sounded good though, didn't it? I know some of y'all niggas was gonna try that, ain't you? You ain't seen nobody, you gonna try it, ain't you, boy? But anyway. So, then a bond is put on you. When you go to Walmart, they got your credit card information, they got your face on the camera. And I told you, I had just made a video about this, and my sister said she went to Walmart She went to Walmart and she bought something, and then the lady said, she called my niece's name and said, "Do you want your receipt?" She said, "How did you know the name?" And then she looked at the phone number. I think my sister, all she did was put in the phone number. You know, but they knew exactly who was who. Didn't have it exactly right, but she always used her daughter's card. But anyway, bonds provide the borrower with external funds, right? So watch this. To educate you here. Bonds provide the borrower. Normally that's the treasury, because you didn't borrow anything. Not the treasury, that's the state. State borrowed it with external funds. So they got the money from the birth certificate to finance long-term investments, or in the case of government bonds, to finance current expenditure. Now, government bonds. Government bonds are sovereign bonds. Sovereign bonds, so you want to be a sovereign citizen. Sovereign means someone that belongs to a king or queen. I don't belong to no king or queen. I am the king or queen. Shoot. King, how you the queen? Because I'm made of my mother, boy. Anyway, sovereign bond is a form of bond issued by a government to support public spending. It generally includes a commitment to pay periodic interest, 1099 OID 8281, called coupon payments. See? How do you get your payments? Just send in the coupon, y'all. Send in the coupon, y'all. Request the payment, but you got to settle the debt first. And then periodic, when you want your money every quarter, like I told King Drace here, you just send in your 1041 coupon with that 1041, and they'll cut you your credit. On the 1041 at the bottom, where you see where it says refunded, on first page, refunded amount, they got refunded to you, amount credited. They got a credit side, they got an amount refunded side. The credit amount, it stays on the 98 number or the Social Security number. The amount that's refunded is the one that they take out of the credit from the number, out of the number account, because it's an account, and they cut a check to you or they wire it to you. That's how that works. And to repay the face value on the maturity date. This is why I say y'all have to settle the debt. Cut through all that maturity stuff, and they give you all the money back. And I already had a full tax class on that, which is $125, along with the NDA that you have to sign. Anyone who want that tax class, please request the NDA at cityside2006@gmail.com and go tender the $125 at the PayPal, which is paypal.me/STT Estate Trust. Okay? PayPal.me/STT Estate Trust. $125. Okay? And also request the dang NDA. Okay? Because I will not cut out that class without that NDA being signed. That goes for anybody, except those who are in my class. Bonds or stocks are both securities. What's a security? A tradable financial asset. What does that line up with, y'all? That lines over 31 U.S.C. 3123, where the Treasury can dispose of the bond. It's not yours. It belongs to the Treasury. The municipal bonds can be done by the state with Fidelity alone. I spoke with Fidelity. They were trying to get me to do a bond once my status got corrected. Yeah. All types of things will come your way once your status is truly corrected. They were trying to sell it to me. Well, I'm telling you, that was on it. And yes, I can get a bond because I have my own country. When you get your assumed name and your status is corrected, that is your country. That is your corporate nation. But remember, God don't have no respect to person now. So you got to get in, get the hell out. Get what you got to get your gold and silver, get the hell out. Go get your land, create your own money, and on your land, you and your bloodline, y'all trading those gold coins, silver coins with your face on it. You're the Don Dada. But the major difference between the two is that capital stockholders have an equity stake in a company. They are owners. Let's go look at equity. So everybody be talking about, oh, I operated in equity. Ain't operating nothing. In finance, equity is an ownership. So you operate in ownership. interest in property. I have equity in the Social Security number. That's an account. That may be offset by debts or other liabilities. Offset, yeah. Equity is measured for accounting purposes, two sides of the ledger, by subtracting liabilities from the value of the assets owned. You have to have an ownership in it first. I already own it. Not if you didn't put a claim in, 31 U.S.C. 3123. You have your ownership, 31 U.S.C. 3727. An assignment can only be made if a claim is made first. You never made your claim. You have to have your affidavit of ownership with a foreign barcode showing that you are foreign. That's how you get the foreign funds. Then you do what? A 1099-A after their default, after they didn't go to the Treasury. For example, someone owns a car worth $24,000 and owes $10,000 on the loan. Right? They say use to buy the car. Oh, that's easy, you know. So you owe $10,000. That's $14,000 paid off. Okay, and if you fail to pay that $10,000, they can still come get that car. But the car worth at that moment, say, it might be $23,000. That's the fair market value on the 1099-A. Now remember, on the 1099-A, those cars got to be going for business, not personal. But everything is business if you got your assumed name. So yes, then you could do it. But you have to have your assumed name in your birth state. Taking ownership back from the state you were born. Birth. Okay? I don't think I want to keep going on with this. I think I beat this dead horse here. We're going to go into the bread and butter, which I was waiting on. Went into the warehouse receipts. It's going to shareholder. Shareholder, United States, often referred to a stockholder. Corporate stock refers to an individual or legal entity such as another corporation, a body politic, a trust or partnership that is registered by the corporation as the legal owner of shares. See? Because the beneficiary is the living being. They shouldn't be owning a corporation. It's the beneficiary. How can they own it? Then they're liable. They shouldn't be around with no liability. That's why the king has to own the corporation and not the beneficiary, because if they sue the beneficiary, they're going to sue the beneficiary for all the benefits that they get. Do y'all now see why the beneficiary should not be the owner? He or she is the beneficiary. Let the trust and the king be the owner, or the queen. Legal owner of shares of the share capital of a public or private corporation. That's what shares is in a corporation. Shareholders may be referred to as members of a corporation. Now, let me also break this down to you, because you might be like, where it says corporation. Well, let me tell you this. Even in a mutual fund, there is still ownership. That mutual fund owns shares of that corporation. And then when you own part of that mutual fund, which most of you will have these doggone municipal bonds, you own a piece of every corporation within that one bond or fund. So now you own many corporations. Get it? Shareholders may be referred to as members of a corporation. A person, know a person? God don't have no respect to person? Or a legal entity. That's what a person is, legal entity. That's why God don't respect it. He deal with lawful, not legal. Becomes a shareholder in a corporation when their name and their details are entered in the corporation's register. And now they're talking about the other person. Register of shareholders or members. Now watch this. And unless required by law, the corporation is not required or permitted to inquire as to the beneficial ownership. Y'all get it? That's why the king or queen is the beneficial owner when it comes down to the ownership of the assumed name. Because they pass the benefits down to who? Uppercase, lowercase, hyphens, colons, John, Alex, Doe. that are only owning it for the purpose of passing it down to the real true beneficial owner. It's beneficial ownership as in just owning it, not being the beneficiary, okay, of the shares. A corporation generally cannot own shares of itself. Y'all get that? So that tells you right there, John Alex Doe cannot own John Alex Doe. Now when you go to 31 CFR 240.14, you will see why it says Jane Alex Doe for John Alex Doe, or fiduciary of John Alex Doe. Get it? Two totally different names. Can't be itself. They're standing here, they standing in that code. 31 CFR 240.14 through 17. So now y'all get it. Why everybody be trying to act like they know every damn thing. And I gave you two different things here proving it. And then some of y'all still want to do your own thing. Because what it is, y'all feel like y'all being controlled by somebody and I ain't going to listen to you. I'm going to do my own thing. Do your own thing. I'm going to be doing your own goddamn thing in jail because you ain't going to have no husband or wife to do you. You're going to have to do no choice but to do your own damn self. All right, so let's go here. Benchmark pricing. Okay? A primary benchmark for a bond is a bond that serves as a standard to measure the performance. And I'm getting into the birth certificate thing, by the way, the birth certificate, so-called CUSIP number. To measure, because you need to know this, measure the performance of other bonds. Benchmark bonds are usually government bonds, such as on-the-run U.S. Treasuries. U.S. Treasuries. Now let's go back to the birth certificate bond, which is sold to the United States Treasury. That's a certification of a debt. You got to have the debt claim. That's the certificate. Certificated deed. That's what it is. That's what a birth certificate is. Then it's allowed to be assigned to the United States Treasury, which are considered to be the most liquid and highly rated debt. Now, benchmark pricing curves. This is what you need to know. When the maturity of a bond is not known, it says you need to know this for all you getting these fucking CUSIP, fake CUSIP numbers. With certainty, the bond, now we already know it's already a certain bond. It's 30 years. So if your shit got benchmark pricing, a benchmark, then that ain't yours. I want you to read this definition real carefully because we're going to get to it for the queen that I was helping out. Now you know the motherfucking lie. Go get your money back, baby. So I got me sounding like a pimp with my jewelry turtle. Go get your money back, baby. Certainly the bond is often priced to a benchmark curve. The curves are constructed using the yields of underlying securities. Not the one. Underlying. So, you know what underlying is, big baby? Okay, so I walk out the door, right? I got on the road. You see my chest through the goddamn road. My chest pumping out like the goddamn Incredible Hulk. And she like, King Stevian, he look like a Hulk. And then all the while I be like, nah, baby, I got some underlying clothes up under here that make it look like I got an Incredible Hulk chest. And she like, oh shit. She jumped in her goddamn car. So it ain't real. It's a front. Y'all get it? Watch this now. With the maturities ranging from 3 to 30 years. So they got underlying securities. Not the main one they say is yours, which is supposed to be 30 years, because that's what the birth certificate is. It's really 25 years. That's the time of the vessel trade. 5 years is when you turn 5 and started school. Add the two together, 30 years. Go to Treasury Direct, and what? That security has already matured. Normally 7.5%. And that's the percentage that goes over on the 1099 OID 8281 form. Okay? So it's a benchmark bond is a bond that provides a standard against which the performance of other bonds can be measured. Now, here we go, baby. Woo. Yield. That's what I said, the yield. 30-year yields of underlying securities. Y'all see that? Underlying securities. That's the ones that's hidden up under that robe of King Stevian. You thought he was a Hulk. That dude small like Captain America in the first Captain America. We said, I can do this all day. Yeah, that's what the corporate crackheads do. They fake all day. We can do this all day. Yields of underlying securities refers to the rate of return or income generated by the individual asset. That a derivative, y'all know what a derivative is. They use a derivative of your name. That's not the real name. Like I said, it's not real. Oh, I love it when the plan comes together. That a derivative is based on, essentially meaning the yield of the primary asset. Primary asset that a financial derivative is tied to. So it's not alone. So you talking about it's your bond, you got other things tied to it. So you got Joe Blows, you got James, you got Jill, you got Kiki. How's it yours? See how they lied? Like a stock or bond upon which its value fluctuates. Because it's a stock that has different stocks within it. The mutual fund, the market fund, have different things in it, goes up and down. Key points about yields of underlying securities. Derivative. Calculating yield. Impact on derivative value. That's other things that are like it. Now let's get into it, big baby. You finna get into this thing. Woo-wee. Last thing. Here you go, big baby. Here's yours. The one they said was for South Carolina. Now, we finna look at this. Right? These are all the underlying derivatives. Okay? You wanna know what that word was? Let's go back. Primary benchmark, that's the name of the main bond, which that is not yours, and I'm gonna show you the main name of yours. You got the derivative. So these are your derivatives. This is like a mutual fund, which things are all within it. So he said or she said that this was your bond. It's not. Because all these different bonds are within it. That's the underlying. So you're telling me you own South Island, and this is a municipal bond here, Island Pub Service Distribution, Puerto Rico Sales Tax Thing Court, Spartanburg County, see how many different counties they dealing with? South Carolina, whatever that is, like a mortgage. South Carolina ST Ports, that's the ports, Dock of the Bay. South Carolina ST Ports, they got 5%, they got different things, and these are the different percentages over here. And they got some more things over here you can get into. Beaufort's, what that is. South Carolina ST Ports again, Columbia. They got different things, and you would have to look all these up to see the holdings. But these are just the top 10. There are more. Hypothetical growth. $10,000. Just telling you if you invested $10,000, what would happen? Okay? Let's see here. Now, I'm just breaking this thing down. This is the fund that they're saying is hers. This is the Municipal Fund Security, South Carolina Municipal Bond Fund Class A. They're saying this is yours. This is where your birth certificate lies. Well, if you go here, do you see anything dealing with your name in there? Nothing. No birth certificate bond, no birth certificate, no debt for the birth certificate. See? And municipal bonds can be anything because when Fidelity came to me, no one owed me no debt. The corporations own debt. In reality, it's supposed to be us putting the corporations in these bonds, not them putting us in bonds. See how it's supposed to work? When you get your assumed name, then you go to Fidelity and tell them I'm going to begin a bond. And you pull all the debts that you owe and you prove that you owe. That's why you acquire the debts. I showed y'all this is like a corporation. Acquire the debts, and then you can go to Fidelity and create your own bond. And then what happens is they will invest into different things for you. They create it. See? They don't have to give the birth certificate. It's just a debt that's owed. It's called tranching. I said I was going to go to that because I wanted y'all to see what tranching is for some of y'all who don't understand it. If there's 100 people in your county that just were born yesterday, okay, they will tranche them, meaning they do it like a mutual fund. It's a bunch of stocks in one bond, put it that way, or a bunch of receipts in one basket, and you sell that one basket as a debt to the Treasury. See? A tranche is a piece or part of something, usually money. An installment of a loan is a tranche. But it's your bond, right? The noun tranche comes from the French word trancher, to cut. See? So if you've seen all these stocks over here, or bonds that are invested, these are tranches into this one bond here. Muni single state loan. Okay, that's just the category, but let me go back to the name down here. This one right here, or any one of these actually. Okay, so it's tranched. To cut, which should help you remember that a tranche is a portion of something, not the whole thing. So no, it's not all yours. Oh, that's my bond. You mother-sucking liar. You go to anyone, everyone who said that they say that's yours, go to Fidelity, and what you're going to do, you're going to go to News and Research. And then you're going to go down to quotes. You're going to click on quotes. And then you're going to put that, whatever that number, that symbol in. Okay? And then when you put that signal in, what's going to wind up happening is it going to show that bond. And that bond is going to show you the truth of what was invested, who owns it, who runs it. Now, if you look here, it says Michael L. Dawson. That's the manager. And I got to tell everyone that you don't own that bond. And when you go to Michael and you say, hey, Michael, I want to check on MFS South Carolina Municipal Bond Fund Class A. I want to see when was the inception of that bond. Now, if that inception of that bond don't match up with your birth date, then that is case closed. That person who sold you that shit lied. This is all the other bonds he runs. He runs a lot of them. So if you own that bond, which you claiming that's your bond, you'll be able to go in there and fire this guy named Michael L. Dawson. See? He has people working up under him to manage that fund. Now let's get into it before I get out, because I got to get the heck up out of here. I already showed you that right there. That's the hypothetical growth if you invested $10,000. Let me go over to the next one. This is very important. I showed you that. There's a manager for every fund. So when these people say this is your bond, this is how you catch them in a lie. And then y'all pick up the phone and y'all call and say, hey, this guy said, this is my bond with my birth certificate. You're going to say, no, that is fraud. And your feelings going to be hurt because you spent your 200 and some goddamn dollars and it was all a lie. Now, this is what I meant by the primary benchmark. See where it says BBG Muni? That means municipal. That is meaning a state, county bond creation. Okay, so it initially comes from this. This is the initial name of it. And so when you go to the MFS South Carolina Municipal Bond Fund, you got different classes too. So which one do you own? If he or she did not break this down to you and give you all this stuff, they lie. I'm sitting here giving y'all something that they don't give you. They give y'all one piece of damn paper. And y'all pay $207, and I'm sitting here giving this shit to you for free. Please go donate to my PayPal right now. It's http paypal.me/STT Estate Trust. Giving y'all nothing but the truth. A benchmark. Then up under it has this. See? There go one fund. There go another fund. See? So which one is yours? You telling me you own all three without owning the benchmark? Come on, man. You got to be bitch smart. All right, so it was something else I wanted to show y'all. I did not get to it. I thought I pulled this thing up. Okay, here we go, Queen. And I'm going to get out of here and I drop the mic. Inception date. Y'all know what an inception date? Matter of fact, when you go get this stuff from these fake-ass gurus, tell them to give you the prospectus on it as well. Anytime you get a bond, invest in a bond, own a bond, you will have a prospectus. The manager will give you a prospectus if you're the true owner. You don't have no investments in it. Show me the money you invested. Show me the date you invested in it. Your inception date should match your birth date. Sweetheart, you weren't born in no 1984. I'm not going to tell nobody your age. October 31st, 1984. That's the year my sister was born. And you way older than her sister. So that right there lets you know that was all a lie. You might say, well, they did it 100 years after I was born. No, they didn't. It would have been created within 30 days to 90 days after you were birthed at the hospital. Same year. If it was in December, it would have been a couple months down the line. And it says March. That does not match. And these guys and these girls who sitting out here selling y'all these fake-ass CUSIP numbers don't give you what I just gave you here. If they don't give you this, the inception date, the prospectus, they don't give you this. This is the prospectus right here. See that? South Carolina Municipal Bond Fund. They try to find something that links back to your birthday is what they do. They try to pull some shit up to fool y'all. I've been doing the stock market too damn long since 2004, 2005. And I'm breaking this stuff down to y'all. Do not fall for the okie doke. Prospectus. Contact the manager. When you get the prospectus, it will tell you the inception date. It will tell you the manager. It will tell you the different classes. Which one do you own? This is the fund, right? That's different classes. Do you own all the classes? Or you own the whole damn school? Investment objective, fees, all this stuff here breaks everything down about this perspective. What it invests in, the operating costs. You got to know all this. You got to walk in the building like Elon Musk taking over a damn business. You ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't boss enough to do this. But y'all around here talking about my bond. Your ass about to be bonding, get your ass taken to damn jail or prison. Y'all better stop y'all shit. You don't even know how to read charts. Portfolio managers. That was your portfolio manager right there proving what I said. He been with them since 1999. You don't think he knows the owner of this company? Investment officer. He's the ones in charge of the investments. And if you the boss of this fund, tell me to shut the whole damn thing down and see how far you go. If y'all use this information to get free, do not blame me, blame LORD. Won't he'll do it? Oh yes, he'll do it. So what you need to do is get this knowledge and start to pursue it. I'm King Stevian, representing the 100 Kings and the 100 Queens. I am out. Don't let nobody keep lying to y'all. But they're gonna lie y'all right out your goddamn holy ass drawers. I'm out. Peace.